business invested in you.
They see these groups of agitators in their black outfits, and their helmets and their shields, which incidentally have the hammer and sickle on them most of the time, rushing the police, causing violence, throwing rocks, the people showing up with the rocks and the frozen bottles. That's happening. That's happening in front of people. You don't see it on any of the national news. You don't see it on the networks. You don't see it on the other cables. Stations, and yet you hear about these peaceful demonstrators. So it's a lie. The American people are being told a lie by the media.
That's Attorney General William Barr with Mark Levin saying the media is misleading the American people, saying that the riots are peaceful when they're not, saying it's a lie, what the media is saying. Now, this Seattle police chief is resigning just hours after Seattle voted to cut the police budget and lay off 100 cops in the middle of rioting and chaos there. Seattle rioters ransacked an Amazon store, Whole Foods, and hit a bank. Let's welcome former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik. It's great to have you on, sir. We love having you back on. Are the media and Democrats essentially excusing a, quote, growing culture of lawlessness? Because we've been tracking the Democrat reaction to this, and it's been pretty muted.
Well, they're ignoring it, and I think in many ways they're supporting it. And I have to tell you, after looking at Joe Biden's new pick for vice president, these are two people. The president nominee, the vice president nominee, both of them have failed to condemn what is now the militant arm of the Democratic Party, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, who have done, hundreds of millions of dollars in damage around the country, injured over 1,000 cops, murdered people, and they've said nothing, absolutely nothing, which is completely bizarre.
Yeah, we have at least 18 people, possibly higher, now dead in the rioting since it began in the spring. More than 100 now arrested, 13 officers injured, $60 million in property damage in Chicago after looters attacked violently the Miracle Mile. MSNBC, CNN gave no primetime coverage to that. The Washington Post reporting in a headline, getting it wrong, claiming that the rioting was dialing back in Portland. There have been a dozen riots in the 10 days since federal officials left. So, sir, you've been hearing that theme that the federal officials are inciting the riots. That's not true. The riots are still going on, a dozen of them in the 10 days since federal officials left. Your reaction to that? They're still setting fire to police buildings there. Go ahead.
Yeah, keep in mind, Liz, and I think people forget this, those riots were going on in Portland for 6 weeks before the president ordered DHS and the marshals to go in to the courthouse. Once they left, and that's been almost 2 weeks now, it started all over again. They don't care about whether it's the police, the state police, the locals, the feds. They don't care. They're destined, they are determined to destroy the society as we know it, just like the Attorney General said. And you have mayors and governors that are allowing it to happen. They're supporting it. They are Marxists themselves. They're supporting it. And these people need to get thrown out of office. It's the only way it's going to change.
Let's show. I hear what you're saying. Let's show the weapons that these rioters and protesters are bringing to the fight in Portland. The mayor of Portland, Oregon, Ted Wheeler, was fighting against the federal presence there to help out, to stop what was going on there. There was they're lighting federal buildings with dozens of people trapped inside to potentially try to murder them. That's what the mayor of Portland is now saying, that they're trapping them inside is an attempt to commit murder, throwing chunks of concrete and more. Your reaction to the mayor now reversing, saying, yeah, what the rioters are doing, they're trying to kill people. Your reaction?
Well, he doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a choice. They tried to conceal this in the past. The mainstream media, whether it's CNN or MSNBC, they are sort of a propaganda arm for the Democratic Party. They ignore it. They refuse to air it. But the bottom line is there's too much footage out there right now, Liz. There's all you have to do is go on the internet and you can see everything that's going on in Portland on a nightly basis. There's too much out there for the mayor to get by and say it's all peaceful and everything's fine.
Yeah, people are saying, fix the police, don't defund it, and certainly don't attack innocent buildings and innocent Americans, in these riots. I wanted your reaction to what Democrats are saying. They're saying that they've been saying these are peaceful protests, not acknowledging the riots at all. Watch this.
Mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protesters.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protesters.
Peaceful protests.
Peaceful demonstrators.
Okay, the footage shows otherwise. By the way, in 16 states, a growing movement to back the police. This is called Back the Blue. It's a push to basically support police officers. Your reaction to all of this, sir?
Well, listen, any community that wants law and order, that wants to live in a safe environment. Nobody wants to live, visit, work, or go to school in a place where they're not safe. And the bottom line is, the only thing that's going to accomplish that is a police presence, and a big one, especially given what's going on today. So there's a lot of people out there in communities that are supporting the police. They're defending the police, not trying to defund them.
All right. Bernie Kerik, thanks for joining us. Come back soon.
Thank you.